In the latest Total Guitar magazine, there's an article on Play Like Queen's Brian May. I thought we'd have a look at that. There's an interesting section in it called Tie Your Wallet Down, which talks about the different prices of things that are going to help you be able to attain the Brian May guitar sound. A lot of questions come in on this channel about what different gear to be able to buy. What do you actually need to sound like Brian May? I did a video a while ago on how to play like Brian May. I'll put a link in the description to that one. But the article itself, how to play like Brian May, it's actually based on Dave Colquhoun. I think I've pronounced that right. I'm actually friends with him on Facebook. He's the guy who was training Gwylim on Bohemian Rhapsody on how to play the guitar. He promised me to make a video, that he would make a video for this channel, which he hasn't done. He's obviously too busy talking Total Guitar. He also did a video with Andy's guitar on that guitar channel. That was quite an interesting video where he talks about different techniques. Again, I'll put a link in the description. Check that one out, because not that many people have watched that. I thought that would have been a video that would go viral. But it lists out all the different avenues of how to play like Brian May. So we're going to discuss these ones. So we've got phrasing and feel. Practice makes perfect in this vital area. Brian May is a master of injecting his playing with a feel, and in this regard, at least, he is up there with just about anyone who has ever picked up the instrument. Phrasing and feel are fundamental facets of his style. So again, fundamental part, phrasing, how you phrase them notes. So it's not just hitting the note, it's phrasing the note. Second one, soloing with melody. Now that's quite important. I was doing a guitar lesson the other day and we were discussing playing over a chord progression, and we looked at the solo of I Want to Break Free. See the live Wembley 86 version, because the studio version is a synth, but kind of the same principle applies. If you look at the notes for the solo on that, it's an excellent example of how the notes fit over the chord progression it's playing through. In that way you get this nailed melody which fits perfectly. It's not just improvised. If you listen to Brian May, very, very melodic. Finger vibrato, a fundamental, I'll start again. Finger vibrato, a fundamental part of any playing technique. So again, when you're playing the notes, it's that vibrato, being able to shake the note. Also with, if you listen to something like Bohemian Rhapsody, when the string bends, he isn't just bending up to the note, he's shaking that note ever so subtly, and it really gives body and soul to the guitar solo. Guitar vibrato, how to add vibrato to chords to aid the guitar's musicality. The article talks about how Brian May, when he plays chords, he's normally got hold of the trem arm and he just shakes that bit to give the little bit of subtlety to the chord, and it's that nice feel as opposed to just playing the chord. Picking dynamics. Another instinctive part of May's tone is the use of his English sixpence as a pick. He likes the intimate connection that its inflexibility gives, and he will either delicately stroke the strings to give a metallic character to the sound, or minutely after the angle of his hands to dig the coin's serrated edge into the strings, resulting in a more aggressive and gnarly tone. That's a great example of the latter technique at 42 seconds during the song Death on Two Legs, and it certainly is. I think a lot of thing with Brian May, when he picks the strings, he's famous for using the sixpence, and the serrated edge can give you that tone that you can't get with a plastic pick. He also uses his fingers quite a bit as well for like subtle, so the tone, where they say it's all in the fingers, or the different type of pick that you need. But if you, it says the best example for with the coin is the beginning of It's Lit from News of the World. So if you listen to the way them chords are played. Talking of chords, cleaning up, every guitar has a volume control, use it. If you notice with Brian May, he doesn't switch channels on the amp. He's playing the AC30s at full crank, So to get the clean tone, he turns the volume knob down, and then you can get the clean notes, and then when he wants to go back to overdrive, he turns the volume up. That's an important thing that a lot of people haven't necessarily realised. Bending, practice bends to add some vital emotion. String bending can be one of them things. Someone sent me a video on Instagram of them playing the solo of Bohemian Rhapsody. They bend all the strings correctly, but kind of like that soul. It is putting the vibrato into the bends and shaking the bends and really putting it. A top tip for if you're struggling when bending the note correctly, sometimes you can be slightly flat or too sharp. And sometimes that can be a problem because you can't always hear it when you're playing. It's not until you watch it back and you think, I did a video a while ago on using a tuner, a guitar tuner, chromatic tuner, and bend the string up and look at the tuner to see whether you're actually hitting bang on the note that you're aiming for. So that's a top tip. Use your index finger, a signature pick hand technique that adds expression. When May needs a softer sound, he'll sometimes palm the sixpence and use the index finger to entice notes from the string. It's a subtle yet very effective way of adding dynamics and expression for heartbreaking emotions. As we mentioned before, sometimes Brian May uses his finger. I think if you watch the video for Who Wants to Live Forever, I think it's that one, might be wrong, that you can see him actually doing that. Know your legato, a well-used part of the tonal arsenal. So legato, again, it says legato is an essential technique for smooth and swift lead work, and Brian has often used a mixture of it combined with alternative picking in his playing, not to mention a slick hybrid of tapping and string bending. Again, it talks about best example being It's Late from News of the World, 3 minutes 33. You hear that. Taming feedback. That's another important point. How to make your feedback sound musical. It makes quite an interesting point that Brian May, the fact it's like semi, it's got the chamber in the guitar, so it's designed to feedback, and you kind of tune this at very like high volume. So obviously Brian May is using the 3 Vox amps cranked up, so he's getting the feedback. Talks about walking around the room to get that where the feedback's coming from. That's quite difficult in a setting like this, where you're in a room where you have neighbours and you don't want to get evicted for creating too much noise. So sometimes when you're at low volumes trying to create the tone, you can't always do that in a room setting. If you're a bedroom guitarist, it's difficult to do. Where obviously if you're on stage, massive frig, you can do that. And it talks about, best example, We Will Rock You, where the guitar's just straining the feedback and you can control that. Finding harmony. Wonderful harmonies are a Queen's signature. That's true. Sharon Osbourne needs to think about that. If she says it's all about Freddie, well, the guitar harmonies are just as much an essential part of the Queen sound. Bohemian Rhapsody is the perfect illustration of how Queen skillfully multi-tracked vocals to stunning effect, and May applied many of the same recording techniques for his unique and staggeringly inventive guitar orchestrations. One of the best examples, it says, is All Dead, again from News of the World. So if you had to describe how to do guitar harmonies in one sentence without doing a full video, the note you're using, find the surrounding chords and use the notes from them. That's the best way of explaining that one. Come now to the tie your wallet down. This is what a lot of people are wanting to know, of how to sound like Brian May. Constant questions. Do you use this? Do you use that? Obviously you've got the picture there of the BM Super. There's a BM Super here that Brian May actually used, it says, on when Queen played with Paul Rodgers. And there's the new Kat Treble Booster Classic, which just came out a few months ago, which is like 3 treble boosters in one. I'll read what it says. I'll try to abridge it. The unavoidable truth is that authentically obtaining the Brian May sound is difficult without some specific gear. And a Strat in an overdriving Marshall will only get you on the lower rungs of the ladder in this scenario, which is very true. Consider opting for a guitar whose design is based on that of the Red Special, simply because it can do things that the majority of other production guitars don't, such as providing pickups that are wired in series. So again, you're not really going to get a guitar that you can put in and out of phase with the pickups, turn them all on and all off. You're not really going to get that. Somebody sent me a picture on Instagram yesterday that they'd getting a guitar Strat, and they'd put Burns pickups and the same wiring as Brian May. It was a great idea, but it says the BMG Special £695 is the ideal option, which it is. You'll need some sort of treble booster or specifically voiced overdrive too, and we can certainly recommend the impressive authentic Catalinbread Galileo, £129. A stomp box that just about merits its Brian May in a box reputation. For smaller amps, it suggests the Vox Pathfinder 10, which is around £64, or a Marshall MG15R, which is £95, are both decent options, especially for home use. In a Boss CH1 Chorus, £75 will infuse the tone with some shimmering richness. It says if you are already the owner of a guitar loaded with a mid-powered or vintage voiced bridge humbucker, you can try the combination of a Vox AC30 S1, which is around £555, and a BMG Kat innovative Treble Booster Classic, which is £249. So that's that one there. They actually sold out almost within a few hours of Brian May guitars advertising them. It says the latter provides a trio of distinctive settings based on the idiosyncrasies of the particular boosters May used during 3 specific decades. While the amp boasting one channel and a single Celestian speaker gives just the right level of tube dynamics thanks to its EL84 driven power section. Set the EQ flat dial in the amount of gain that best suits your guitar and whack the volume all the way up. It will be crushing loud and will be more than worth it. There you go. If money is no object, which we all wish it wasn't, the spectacular BMG Super, which is £2,950, is about as close in spec and playability to May's original guitar as a production model is likely to get. I think we did upset a few people when I compared the BMG to the CQ, which again is a bit like a Brian May Super, but some people think that if they spend nearly £3,000 on the guitar that they're going to sound exactly like Brian May. No, it isn't going to work like that. You obviously need all the gear surrounding it, like the treble booster, if you're going to get that sound. So you can't buy a Brian May Super, plug it into a Marshall amp and sound like Brian May. It isn't going to work. It says then just back it up with 3 modified Vox AC30 C2s combos, a pair of TC electronic G major 2 rack units, £499 each, a Kat STB booster, £222, some custom wizardry from electronic gurus Nigel Knight and Mike Hill, and a stadium full of fans. Dead simple. That's what you're going to need to sound like Brian May. So as always, thank you for watching and let me know what your thoughts are in the comments.